got something on my heart to share with all of you, and I was busy writing an Instagram post, um, which I'll still post. It will follow this video. We often get judged as personal trainers and as athletes. Maybe judgment is not the right word to use. Maybe it's more envied than anything else. So as a trainer in my career over the past few years, which I've heard a lot, is basically people saying, "You are lucky. I wish I was you. You got it easy. You work in the gym, it's easy. It's easier for you than for anybody else," which is not the case. The photos that I'm going to post after this will show you that just as much as you struggle and just as much as it hurts, just as much as it burns, and the pain, the determination that it takes, that to get to your goals, it's the same for everyone. It's just the mindset, first of all. So let me give you a bit of background of myself. So I've been in this industry since 2010. It's the first time I started training. So it's my 10th year. I studied personal training or exercise science in 2011. After 2011, I was in the fitness industry. Numerous things happened. So I saw my cousin compete for the first time when I was 16, and I thought, okay, my grandfather was a natural bodybuilder and gymnast. My cousin is a bodybuilder, and I followed in the footsteps. Well, tried. Due to unforeseen circumstances, my path, just like most people's path, has not been easy. There are people that are lucky that doesn't have any physical setbacks based on injuries, and then you also get people like myself, which has gone through a lot. And so coming to the point of this video, and people posting stuff on their social media, and we create what we want people to see. I have tried to be as real as possible, be me as possible, be most authentic as possible. And I've also realized that a lot of people has judged me and other people that I know according to appearances without actually knowing the person themselves, which everybody does. So to give you a background of my physical obstacles and journey that I have had to endure. So let's start at 2011. 2011 I rode the first motorbike off. I tore ligaments in my ankle. Then 2012 I rode off another motorbike. I T-boned a car. I dislocated my left shoulder and my sternum over here. Had to recover from that. Did all the rehabilitation, did all the work, never gave up. Started playing rugby for Diggers Rugby Club. Paul was still busy recovering from the shoulder. Then I played a few seasons there. I fractured my right wrist. I've burst veins in my legs. And from rugby in school, I also had some inflammation and water on my knees, which I still have problems with every now and again. Above and beyond that, in 2015, November, I was walking with one of my clients and I fell into a uncovered manhole, which I burst my L5S1 disc in my lower back, which caused my vertebrae to push against my spinal cord. I went to the doctor immediately that day. I did a checkup and the doctor told me, well, sorry, it's just muscle damage, minor tissue damage. I walked like that for a week with anti-inflammatories. Still tried to train, was lying on the floor most of the time because of the pain. And I worked as a trainer, worked with my clients. Second week I went to a physio and she said that she thinks I tore a ligament on the side of my spine. But she's not so sure. So she worked on me for an hour. They told me if it's not better by the next day, I need to go see a specialist. I went to a specialist. Specialist told me, well, I only went to the specialist because 2 hours later, I was in so much pain that I could barely walk. So the next day, I phoned my doctor and he said the earliest they can see me is the 6th of Jan. So this was still in November. No, this was in like the first week of December. That same Friday, the 4th of December, my one client came to me and she's a doctor as well. And she says, how's your back doing? I said, I'm in so much pain that I can barely stand. Its pains are going down my legs. It's like the shooting pains and it's numbing pains. And she said, no, we're cancelling the session, cancel all your clients. We are going to take you to the trauma unit where my friend is the head of trauma. Go there, fill in all the forms. This doctor tells me, Niku, like, just to give you a heads up, there's a few things that we are looking for. And if that doesn't come up on your MRI scan, your medical aid won't pay. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I don't really have much of a choice because I'm in so much pain. I then went into the MRI, did the scan, came back. One of the three things that was on the scan, I can't remember the other two. One was spinal stenosis. So anybody can go and Google spinal stenosis and it can cause permanent damage to my spinal cord and make me be paralyzed from the waist down. And it can also, it says there, cause death, which I'm not so sure about, but I think Google sometimes just pulls it out. So I was admitted to the hospital immediately, which I was for a week. My doctor came to me, told me the story, got a second opinion, and he said it's inevitable. So it doesn't matter what I do, I can postpone the surgery or I can try and walk for the next year. But if I move funny, I could literally cut my spinal cord in half, which will then lead to being paralyzed. So at the time I was 24 years old. I did my first two bodybuilding shows. I came third in my first show, fifth in Gauteng, and I got invited to the Arnold Classic SA 2016, which I never got to go to. So this all happened in a space of about 6-7 months before. The doctor said, luckily, because you're still young, you do qualify for a mobile disc, prosthetic disc, which will give me the same mobility as anybody else. The only problem is I can't carry heavy weights. So at that time, I just started getting to powerlifting, and I benched 180 was my 1 rep max at the moment. I used to deadlift 240, 4 reps, squat 240. So I was pretty strong. 24 years old, was invited to the Arnold Classic, and have this major back problem. I then also, with the MRI, came back, which I don't know of, is that I've got a disease in my back called Sherman's disease, which is degenerative discs. So this is what caused the damage so severely. It wasn't the fact that I fell in a manhole that wasn't even deep. It was because I have a disease in my back. On top of that, I have 4 herniated discs. So L5S1 is a prosthetic disc. It's, so then L4, L3, 2L1 herniated. 4. So just to give you a bit of background, went into the op on the Friday, the 11th of December. That Sunday, I had to walk for the first time in order to get out of the hospital. It was the most terrifying day of my life. Because the doctor said to me, we don't know if it's going to be a success until you walk. And then we'll be able to tell. So me, 24 years old, going through all of this, lying on the bed, a little physio coming in, telling you like, listen dude, we need to walk. So at the time I weighed about 105 kilos. Not a lot for my height, but I'm about 6'3", and I have to walk for the first time. Sitting up straight, I got dizzy. Stood up, got dizzy, couldn't even see. I asked my brother-in-law to help me. He helped me with the physio. We started walking down the passage. Got to the door from my hall, my ward. Was dizzy, couldn't really see much, but I really wanted to walk. Started walking. I was home for 2 months. Didn't work. After 2 months, I was allowed to go to work again. Then after that, I was allowed to start training with a 5-kilogram dumbbell. I was so driven that I started working around my injuries by creating exercises that I can do. And not making excuses. Because I had such a desire to prove the doctors wrong. And myself. Because when I was in the hall and in the ward, the doctor said to me, Nico, you're going to have to change your career. You'll never be a trainer again. And I've never gotten into personal training for the money or to look the way that most of the trainers look these days. And I got into the business to help people feel the confidence and the assurance and the determination that with the mindset as well, that I can do anything that I put my mind to. That's why I went into the industry, because I wanted to help people feel like that. Feel like a superhuman. Feel like there is nothing that you cannot do. So when I was in the bed and I was lying there and my mom told me after the doctor left, I said to her, my life is over. I can't do what I love and what I'm passionate about. And I'm losing out on this amazing opportunity of competing at the Arnold Classic, South Africa. And I was distraught. So my mom looked at me and she said to me, I've asked you this before and you have proven people wrong before. Are you going to let somebody else decide what your limitations are? Or are you going to decide what they are? And at that moment I knew that I've got the knowledge, I've got the mental capacity to get through. So the doctor said, I asked him if I'm going to wear a brace. He said, no, I'm too strong to wear a brace. He doesn't want to weaken my core. Do I need to see a bio? No. He said, but he will suggest Pilates and swimming. So the physio said, after 2 months, I'm allowed to start training with a 5 kilogram dumbbell, which I've explained already. And then on the 6th month after the surgery, I went back, and the doctor said, oh no, it was 3rd month. He said, okay, cool. The physio checked me out. They said, no, okay, I'm allowed to swim, but I'm only allowed to use my upper body. I'm not allowed to kick with my legs. I need to get one of those beans, flotation devices, put it in between my legs, and start swimming. I started boxing with a coach because I wasn't allowed to lift heavy weights. So I carried on with my body weights, and I adjusted cable machines, and I asked some of the guys at the gym to put heavy weights on the floor for me so I can train from the floor, because I wasn't allowed to put any downward pressure on my spine. I also asked the doctor, like, this is what I've been doing, and what is the limitation of weight I'm allowed to put on my spine? And he said, Niku, I can't tell you what the prosthetic disc can handle, but what I can tell you is, let's not make it heavier than 100 kilos, just to be safe. Because if you don't take care of your back, your whole back is going to be fused and be one solid bone by the time you're 30. So this year, 2020, I turned 29. And I've accomplished everything he said I couldn't do. First of all, he said I'll never be able to compete again. He also said I would never be able to ride off-road or motorbike again. There's a few things that I wasn't able to do. So what I did is I started studying Pilates. I went to HFPA again, studied Pilates to strengthen my core and also to help my clients. In 2018, I decided I feel ready that I'm going to compete again. And I started prepping for my first show. After I rode off-road, I had a KX450 Kawasaki. It was a great bike. Then I sold the bike because all my attention needed to go to the prep. My first show, I came second. Second show, I took first place, and in classic bodybuilding, and that was provincials. I came second in the under 90 kilos. At SAs, I came second in South Africa in PCA, classic bodybuilding, and I was chosen to represent South Africa at World Championships in Birmingham in 2018, which I didn't place. There were 17 oaks, all twice my size, but that's not the problem. I accomplished something that I never thought I would be able to do. So the reason for this video was purely to say that it's all about your mindset. There are still some limitations I have. There's still days that I wake up feeling that I can't walk properly. My back is sore, my back is stiff. But yet here I am, 29 years old. I've only had the one back surgery. I take care of myself. I do what I need to do to be able to enjoy what I want to do. I'm here because I'm proof that it's all about a mindset. So I've got 2 tattoos on my arms. One that I got in 2012, which is on this arm over here. It says never give up. Purely because of the things that I've gone through in my life. And I just can't give up. On the other side, I've got a tattoo that says victorious. It's over there. And it's also the meaning of my name, which means victory of men. So Niku means victory of men, and just represents that if you put your mind to it and you don't give up, you will come out victorious. It's all about your mindset. It's all about your drive and how badly you want it. So like I said in the beginning, I've been wanting to say something about, people say you have it easy. And it's easy for you because you work in the gym. Just let me tell you something. You have no idea how hard I've worked to get where I am today. You have no idea how hard most people work to be where they are. And I just feel that if you don't know a person, you can't judge them. It's very hard. It's very hard. I know. Sometimes I judge people too. We do it. It's human nature. But when you look at people that you're envious of, maybe just try and figure out what they've gone through before you make judgments over their lives. And this message is not to vent. It's not a rant. It's just to give people some perspective of reality, and that everybody has their own journey which they walk, and you choose how you want to walk that. And because of my views, values, and morals, I firmly believe that all of this that I've gone through has happened for a reason, and there's a purpose for all of this. And the other day somebody asked me, if you had one wish, what could it be? Anything in the world. And I thought about everything that I've gone through, like not having this back problem or going through this. And no, it's not that. Not writing off the motorbikes. No, it's not that. All I want to do is I want to be successful in my field and help people. That's all I want to do. What I am and where I've gotten and what I've become and the people that I've helped through the years of me being in my industry as a trainer and a coach, I've helped people accomplish things that they didn't think they could. I'm not talking about people that compete like I do. I'm talking about your average person that broke an elbow, that never thought he would be able to cycle again or do a cycle race. Talking about a little kid that had an ACL replacement that wanted to play rugby again. Talking about people like that. People that think they are limited because of injuries, because of illnesses, because of diseases. And I'm telling you now today that it's all just a mindset. I've got numerous clients that I've made and helped get so much progress with purely because of their mindset and their willingness to do whatever it takes. And the thing that I've gone through the last 12 years since I've been out of school, 11 years since I've been out of school, has led me to a point where I have the capability of helping people reach their full potential, no matter the age, purely because I believe that they are capable of doing it because I can. And I'm sitting here, a living testimony. And the only reason why I think I'm here still is because God has not fulfilled, well, I have not fulfilled the purpose that God has put me on earth for. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And I've said that to many people. I've gone through so many things in my life, and I have not died yet, and I've been very close to it. And I said to them, oh, you know what? Sometimes I do feel invincible, because I know the day that my head hits that pillow or the day that I pass away, I would know that I have finally fulfilled my purpose. And if I could help you fulfill yours in any way or form, I'll be only honored and privileged to help you. And if this video helps you realize that, you know what, if I look at Niku's life, and I've gone through more stuff, and I'll get to that in more videos earlier during the younger days of my life. And if this can give you some sort of perspective that you're not the only one struggling, and you're not the only one that doesn't know what to do, let me tell you something, you can do it. I believe in you, and your family believes in you too. So never give up, and you will be victorious. Good night.